Now, let's warm her. One of the sheroes of today, Nawal. Please join me here. We're so happy that you made it. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a seat. So, you have been an activist for over 44 years. Now, what has kept you going? What inspires you?
When you have invited me to participate in this talk, I was asking myself, what am I going to tell the people here? There is a lot of things we are going through, and 10 minutes will never be enough to tell the whole story. But a 23 years old driver led me to choose the title of what I'm going to tell you. He said, we were talking, he said, we Syrians, in spite of all darkness around, we are still resisting for our lives. Then I thought, yes, if there is no hope at all, we should create it. But you cannot create hope or anything out of nothing. You can always base on something in your hand. And my hope is based on my experience, on what I hear, on what I see, on the conversation with my people, on these things, or on watching what is going on in my country. My hope is based on my people behavior now. You could see thousands of young people like you never have been involved in public issues or civil society or anything. Now you can see them in all areas, outside, inside Syria, at the refugee areas, everywhere, organizing themselves to have a role in the future of their country. Women in very conservative areas never go from their house to their mother's house without a male from the family go with them. They never move alone from place to another. Now, they took their families, they moved with their families to a better place, to a safe place, inside Syria, outside Syria, to the refugee areas, and to what we call it internal displaced places. They move. One of my colleagues, I was a teacher, I know her before, she is my age. She moved with her family 7 times from place to another, looking for, and her retirement is about $65. But she could manage to support her family and find a way to put them in a safe place. A woman from Ghouta, you know Ghouta around Damascus, where the conflict is so difficult and hard. She never heard about shelters for women or anything like that. But once she opened her house as a shelter for women who were violenced in different way, from any side. Never been trained. Her heart led her to do what necessary for her people. Women never been involved in women issues or equality, or they never heard about gender, or they heard about gender equality, but they don't understand exactly what it is. You can see them now, young women, and they didn't believe even in women movement before. And that was big argue with them that we should do something because the conflict is getting harder and harder, and the extremists are threatening our future and our rights and so on. And they say, look, now it's not the time to talk about human rights. Now you can see them organizing themselves, talking about women's rights and women full participation in the peace process. They organized themselves in a group, in an initiative, they call it Syrian Women for Peace and Democracy. And this shows us what they are aiming from this title. Peace and democracy, because they know no women's rights without democracy, and at the same time, no democracy without women participation, full participation.
And sorry to interrupt you, Nawal, but I'm very curious to hear about the role of men as well, because you described to us that there are these very courageous women who are now really embracing new opportunities as well and letting their voice be heard. But what about men? Are they open to these women? Are they listening?
Well, you remember Judy, what she said, that men destroyed the world, let women clean it. I don't agree exactly with this. I think we need both hands to build, no matter who destroyed, but we need two hands to build. And I know when I talk about young people, men and women, organizing themselves now as a civil society. They've never been organized. Now they are organizing themselves to have a role in the future. I meant young women and men like you. So this is the rule of it doesn't matter if you are male or female. It's not the story. It's not nothing. It's your thinking, how you feel about peace or about war. Mm-hmm. I think. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to be that much extremist talking about only women, but you know, this is very, very, very important indicator. I mean, if you see a man leading a family, it's tradition thing. Mm-hmm. But now, UNHCR have a report on June 2014. They say 1,400 family in the refugee community in Egypt or Jordan and are led by women. 144,000. They didn't count inside, the displaced areas inside. So can you imagine how many families now are led by women who never work, who never go to work? This is why I'm talking about women, because this indicates us that the Syrian communities, the Syrian society, my country will never go back to the traditional role of women or men in our life. So this is how I think that we can create hope. I will take this chance, a moment, to call all Syrians to stand up, hand in hand, and stop this dirty war. Build your country, a place, a safe place for all of us, men and women, for all components. You can do it, and I call soldiers and fighters, politicians, civil society, activists, men and women, you can do it. Stand and do it. Don't wait for anyone to help you building your peace, building your country. We can do it. I trust that very deep in my heart. And I hope you share with me this hope and this trust. Thank you.
Thank you, Nawal. Let's have a look. I'm sure there are questions. I'm also trying to look to the people upstairs. We have microphone assistants in the audience. Who would like to ask a question today? Yes, we have a lady in a minute. If you could go to our microphone assistant there so she can reach you. Yeah. If you could please introduce yourself.
Hi,
She will hold the microphone for you.
Sorry. Hi, thanks for your inspirational talk. I just wondering, because you said probably not everybody's clear about gender equality, and what is gender equality to you? What is the rights for equal rights for women and men? Thank you.
I think I came here to learn from you what is gender equality and equality between men and women means. But still, if you mean, what does it mean in Syria? For a long time, we were working for gender equality and women human rights. And we could gain very small thing. But still, yet, these small things we have are threatened by the extremists who hide behind religion to control our life in a way we will never accept. So, from this hand, full participation of women in the peace process from A to Z maybe will guarantee not to go back thousands of years ago. Maybe we can save some of our rights and go forward to gain another. We won't accept Syria as a fundamental country. We will never accept to give up fighting for full women human rights. Never.
Thank you, Shukran. We have a question through Twitter from our one and only Danny. Thank you very much, Danny. The question is from somebody called JJ, and the question is, how would you encourage Syrian allies to advocate for justice in Syria?
I think this is this is good question, especially we are in international law university. I think justice can be built only when peace is there. You cannot build justice during the war. So, first of all, let's stop this war. Let's build our peace in country, a safe place for everyone with equal rights between all components, then we can think and act to get justice too. First, let's build the peace.
No justice without peace, and no peace without women. On that note, I would like to ask for another round of applause. Shiro, Nawal, shukran.